my sheet? Oh, there it is. Thank you, Brandon. All right, so first 2 weeks we talked about the coaches / GMs. At the week after that we talked about quarterbacks. Today we're getting in the nitty gritty. I got 2 pages here, folks. So strap in. Keep in mind it's double spaced, but regardless, I have 2 pages. I want you guys
Me to my high school English teachers. 2 pages.
but it's double spaced.
2 pages.
That was my favorite thing when they told me it was double spaced. So I want you guys to be ready and strapped in for this. I texted you guys earlier in the week. I said I've been doing research on the rules. This league's going to be wild. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. And I think you guys are missing out. If you're really like, oh, man, I really care about March Madness, you're missing out on the funnest professional league in the world.
Have you ever watched March Madness?
It is pretty great.
March Madness is
It is very fun to watch.
the most fun I have over 4 days, that more than I could ever have at a music festival.
I don't know about that.
Those 4 days, man.
Regardless.
If you plan your days right, you get a break where you go to B-dubs.
Well, most of us work, Paul, so we don't have the luxury to watch all these games in those 4 days.
It's been great that it's been over my spring break where I'm in Arizona the past few years.
So, let's talk enough about March Madness. We're talking about the XFL, Paul. So, the XFL Xpert Report, we're talking about the rule changes of the XFL. I hope you guys are ready because this is going to get weird. First thing I want to talk about are the PATs. Now, the PATs in the XFL are pretty crazy. For starters, the league will give teams the option to score a 9-point touchdown. Yes, I'm serious. I saw the look on your face, Brandon. I'm serious. A 9-point touchdown. PATs will be tiered. So if a team is able to go for a 1-point conversion, if that's all they want, they can get it in from the 2. So no kicking, much like the AAF. There's none of that stuff. They did that in the first version of the XFL. If a team wants to go for more, they can try a 2-point conversion from the 5-yard line. So if you just want 1, it's from the 2. If you want 2, it's from the 5. And a 3-point play will be from the 10-yard line. So in one moment, you can have 9-0 in your scoreboard. You can make it a 2-score game if you do your PATs right. Pretty crazy.
Wow.
Here's where it gets even weirder.
What do you think you would try to do the most? Would you try to go for 3 every time?
We
Well,
will
the
have,
thing
and the
is-
analytics community will tell you always go for the highest
You would want that
difficulty one.
because, like
I don't see any reason to go for 1 in that situation.
You immediately go up by 2 scores because you're already up 9-0.
Well, it's technically still only
It's still
1
1
score.
if they get the other one.
They can do it too, Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they could also miss it 2, and it could still be 9-6. Vice
The
versa.
other team is playing by NFL restrictions.
Yes, they can only score 1. Here's the the overtime is even crazier. So similar to Brandon's idea with NFL overtime with the shootouts, the XFL will institute a shootout system to decide a winner. Both teams, offenses and defenses, will be on the field at the same time.
No.
So they're gonna have one offense and defense on one end, one on the other, and it's exactly how shootout rules work. Where
First team to get into the end zone.
Keep with me here. Teams will get 5 chances to score a 2-point conversion.
Are these simultaneous?
Well,
That would be.
Do you
How
bring
do you
out
watch
another
this?
set of officials?
No, here's what happens. So the way I interpret it as the offense and defense on one side of the field will go. They'll try their 2-point conversion, and then they'll go to the other. Like a shootout works.
Poor refs, they got to run all 100 yards
Well, they
10 times.
We'll get to this.
In a row.
This sounds like college, but just not
more insane.
letting them get on and off the field.
Well, here's the thing. It could work because in the XFL they have 8 officials, and we'll get to that in a little bit later. So you could technically split up and have 4 refs on each side. So it's a similar shootout rules to hockey or soccer where you got to get 2 kind of thing. You got to get the 2 points. But here's where it gets even better. So you have the 5 chances to score a 2-point conversion. But if the defense forces a turnover, they score a point for their team. So the defense can actually get points, and it's not just the offense. You keeping with me on this?
I don't see how. I think they kind of tricked it for overtime rules, Jake. It sounds like I'm not going to be able to keep track.
I love it.
How are you?
It sounds harder on paper. I mean, they're gonna have them on 2 separate sides of the field, and they'll figure it out. We're gonna move on down the
We're
line.
gonna start trash talking. A fight breaks out.
And Well, that's why it's going to be the most fun league to
On
watch,
the other
baby.
side of the field.
I don't see any problems in this. Although it looks like a big cluster F, I'm still excited about it. Kickoffs will be kept in the XFL. Unlike the AAF, the XFL isn't ditching the kickoff. Instead, they're incorporating a rule from the CFL. So there's no fair catches, but there is a 5-yard halo rule that guarantees a return without them getting hit. So you have to wait. They used to have this rule in college football, I believe. But yeah, you come within 5 yards of the returner, you got to let him catch it, and then you can go after him and try and tackle him. So they want to keep the foot in football. That's what Oliver Luck said. This will be the shortest play clock in football. 25-second play clock. Nothing really special onto that for details. It's just the shorter play clock. This will also have a continuous clock. The clock won't stop running until the 2-minute mark, and then every play from scrimmage will stop the clock. So it's similar to arena football that has kind of just a constantly running clock. I assume you can stop the clock if you get out of bounds, but I could be wrong. But yeah, their whole idea with the XFL is they want to make the game faster and more streamlined. And then I was like, well, it kind of didn't really do that very well with your overtime rules, but still, that's what they're all about. Also, another thing to keep with making the game fast and quick, only 30-second reviews. So if there's any sort of challenge or reviews, they only have 30 seconds to make a decision.
I don't like rushing.
Honestly, 30 seconds I think is enough time.
To rush it.
Most plays you can decide in the first 10 seconds whether or not it's one way or the other. And I think we spend too much time in reviews anyway. So I'm not against this. Because of the continuous... Now, this isn't an official rule. This has been proposed. So this is not official. They're going to kind of eliminate huddles because of the way that how fast this game is going to be with a continuous clock and a 25-second play clock. They are going to institute a one-way radio for every offensive player that's directly connected to their offensive coordinator. So like you see in the NFL where it's just the quarterback, in the XFL they're trying to propose it for every single offensive player, so every play gets in. Everybody knows where the play is, can hear it, so then it pretty much eliminates huddles. And it kind of says, well, if it's a continuous clock and a 25-second play clock, how are they going to get plays in and make things work? And that's kind of one of the proposals.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Interesting. I kind of like it. I could, if it works effectively.
A little surprised that the NFL's not already doing that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think if it
because
if it works here,
it's not like they don't have the money.
I could see the XFL or the NFL adopting this if it works.
Well, they'll have to if they want to use the XFL as any type of farm league because the players can't.
But that would
switch to
it would, although it would negate home field advantage. So you would have to think about that as well.
Yeah.
If you got the thing right in your ear, home field doesn't matter. Except for on snap count.
Every offensive lineman hears until you get to trying to hard count somebody.
I still think it'd be hard to hear, even with it in your helmet. I don't know. That'd be interesting. That's a good question. I don't know how they'd fix that.
I don't think a lot of home fields are going to matter that much in the first
Not
year
in the XFL, but in the NFL.
Yeah.
This is why it's a proposed one. It's not official. Forward passes. Interesting how they're doing this. And it's not going to be like Ultimate Football, trust me. The XFL is trying to redefine what a forward pass is actually about. A forward pass in the XFL is any pass that crosses the line of scrimmage. So, in theory, you could have a double forward pass, as long as the first one does not cross the line of scrimmage. So, kind of already the same rule in
Makes
football.
sense.
But, yeah, so in theory, you could do a shotgun play, have your quarterback run 5 yards, throw to a receiver, and then have that receiver from there throw there. It could work. It's in theory, it would work. And then the last thing, there will be a 8th official on the field for the XFL. He will be the ball judge. He's an official that is strictly in charge of ball placement, and that is brought in to compete with the speed of the game. So if they're going to have a continuous clock and a 25-second play clock and all this stuff, they want one guy who's strictly out there to be like, placing the ball exactly where it's supposed to be, and that's it. So those are kind of the rule changes. There's some other ones I've seen that are kind of out there, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting football league, to say the least. I think when Vince...
Sounds hectic.
It does. It sounds very fast, and I'm wondering how players are going to adapt to such a quick.
How can refs, like, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because it's very hard. I know that they recently had a summit in Stamford, Connecticut. That's the XFL headquarters because Vince McMahon lives in Stamford and he wants all of his headquarters there. That's where WWE's is as well. They had a meeting with players and owners to talk about this kind of stuff. I also want to announce that your boy is a big deal here. I am a part of the football. Oh man, I forgot it already. It's an acronym for FAN. I'm the football accessibility network. So I am like a fan advisor. So what they say is like, they'll send. I just got one recently where they sent me a questionnaire of like, what do I like about professional football? Why do I like it? What things do I want? What experience do I want from the XFL? And how do I like my football? And my big thing was accessibility. I want it to be easy to watch games and easy for everyone to watch games and stuff like that. So anybody can sign up for this. If you go to the XFL's Twitter, I think it's their pinned tweet.
Interesting.
And they have a link to it. So not only am I an expert, I'm kind of a big deal.
You're an influencer.
I'm an influencer on the XFL.
Wow.
Oh.
Our own expert, TM.
XPE. I'm really trying to. I've been tweeting at them. I'm just hoping they give me that title. I'm available, XFL. I'm just saying.
You do, and we've made it.
I put it into existence.
Speak it into existence.
I want T-shirts. I
learned
know
that-
I'll be the only one to wear them, but I want them.